Hey, what's up, everybody? Ralph here. So today I came across an article on CNBC, and they have lawmakers that are calling on Biden to, to release a memo outlining the amount of authority he has to cancel student debt. So obviously, if you're aware of, Biden, before he got elected, he ran on a campaign talking about he wanted to cancel. He was going to work on canceling student debt. So I think a lot of lawmakers are trying to figure out why he hasn't done that yet. I think you have people like Elizabeth Warren saying, the president could just cancel these student loans if he wanted to. So saying, being that he ran on that, why hasn't he done it so far? So I guess they want to know why, because obviously a lot of people argue that, he doesn't have legal authority to do it. So they want to see this memo releasing, like what kind of authority does Biden have to actually go out and do it, which is weird because you had other presidents, you had Obama as president, and Democrats. I don't know why they always every election they talk about canceling student debt, but they never do. I don't know. I don't remember the pressure to really press Obama on it, but now they're really doing it for Biden, obviously because he made that promise that he was going to do it, and he hasn't done it so far. So they want to go into it and try to figure out what kind of legal authority that he has to actually do it. So I'm just going to the article. So it says, over 80 House and Senate members wrote a letter to President Joe Biden on Wednesday, urging his administration to publicly release a memo outlining his legal authority to cancel student debt. The president requested the Department to prepare that report last year. The lawmakers, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, also called on the president to immediately forgive $50,000 per borrower. The price tag on such a move would be around $1 trillion, and 80% of student loan borrowers, or 36 million people, would have had their debt cleared entirely. Outstanding student loan debt in the U.S. has exceeded $1.7 trillion and poses a larger burden of households than credit card or auto debt. Roughly 10 million borrowers are likely in delinquency or default. So, obviously they've extended the payment on student loans to May. It seems like what they're doing is just kicking the can down the road. So a lot of people, since this whole pandemic, people have been used to not paying their student debt. So what people are doing is they've been holding off. They've been not having to worry about that. They've been able to pay other bills. But now that they haven't had to pay this debt, it's been a huge relief. Obviously not having to pay a bill, but what they're doing is just delaying the inevitable. Like, if you're not going to cancel it, then what's going to happen is when we have to restart the payments, it's going to be a total shock to their whole budget. And if people have been struggling to pay it, then what do you think is going to happen once they restart it back in May? I think it's just, obviously government just not making things easier for people, kicking things down the road for something that is going to have people have to face in the future anyways. You're just setting people up to fail. So what they're doing is, like, once May, and if May is the last extension, I think I read a report that 90% of people are not ready to pay their loans. That's crazy, 90%. So once May comes, and if there's no extension, there's going to be a lot of people having to face the realization that they're going to have to start making payments on these loans. And we'll see how many people can actually handle it. If you got 90% people saying they're not ready, that's not a good look. So they're going to have to try and figure something out. But let's see, what's going to happen. So since March 2020, when the coronavirus pandemic hit the United States, the Education Department has paused student loan payments. The relief has since been extended 5 times and is set to end in May. The lawmakers said Americans shouldn't be forced to resume the payments. I don't know why, they borrowed it, right? In light of the high COVID-19 case counts and corresponding economic disruptions, restarting student loan payments without the broad cancellation would be a disastrous for millions of borrowers and their families, they wrote. Biden has asked both the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of Justice to prepare memos on his legal authority to cancel student debt. Schumer and Warren have insisted that the president has the power to do so. The White House is likely weighing the legal risks for such a move. Most experts agree that the chances of Congress passing legislation to deliver the relief are close to zero, as even some moderate Democrats oppose loan forgiveness. So even some of the Democrats don't even agree with it. So a spokesman for the White House said the president continues to look into what debt relief actions can be taken administratively, yet it's unclear why the reports on this power to do so haven't been released yet. The lawmakers point out that the letter that the Department of Education has had its memo for nearly 10 months. So basically they just want to figure out, like, what, like what this memo says, like what kind of authority does Joe Biden have, and if they want to see the extent of his power and how much can he legally just cancel, because obviously you can't just do it with the stroke of a pen, like Elizabeth Warren said. So they just want to figure that out. So they want to know what he can do, and then if he can do something, they want to get that done. But I mean, like you said, you have Democrats that are against it. You have a lot of lawmakers that think that there is no chance that this is going to happen. I mean, every election side, this is what's been always said. Every election is like, oh, we're going to cancel student loan debt, and then people expect that to happen, and it doesn't happen. You're just disappointed. So the fact that they keep making these promises and then don't follow up on it should let you know that then either they're lying, or they're not really trying to do that. It's not what they want to do, but they just use it as a way to to get the votes. But I mean, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think they're going to cancel the student debts? I know a lot of people are hoping. I mean, it would obviously relieve a lot of stress for a lot of people. And like I said, come May, I don't know if they're going to extend it again. There's 90% of people that said they're not ready to make payments on these loans. So I mean, that's just a lot of people. That's just not. I mean, that's not a good look for the economy for a lot of people that's struggling to living paycheck to paycheck. So let me know what your thoughts are. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. And you guys take care and have a good one. All right, later.